I'm Rachel from Healthy Cornwall. This is Craig and we're going to be showing you some buddy exercises. Now we are going to be showing you one round of each, but do remember that you're going to have to switch over and so you both get to do the exercises each.
Right guys, so we look at cardiovascular and lots of movement, so upper body movement, and we're going to add in some leg movement as well, so getting the heart rate up, working in a pair. So Rachel, you can just take your hands out in front of you, there, and then we're going to do some punching across, obviously not too hard, and then we'll add some movement as well. So to start off with, I'm going to take my feet just outside of my hips, so mid-stance. I'm going to come across, punching there, slight rotation from the hip up, adding a bit of speed as I feel comfy. Looking for 12 to 15 either side. Right, so a good progression from jabbing across. We'll be working some of the bigger leg muscles and the glutes, so we're going to look into a squat as well. So what I'm going to do is go jab, jab, and then squat down and stand, jab, jab, squat. Take the squat as far as you feel comfortable, there. So we're just engaging the leg muscles, adding a bit more movement as I'm coming up, there, getting that twist. And again, you can add more speed if you fancy, there. It's at your own pace. And again, we're looking at 12 to 15 squats and adding the punch as well.
So we're going to be doing a reverse lunge now, and the reason why we do a reverse lunge as opposed to a forward lunge is that it's slightly easier to control. So we're just going to start off by doing a step backwards, and then you're going to drop that rear knee down, making sure our bodies are nice and upright and our knee doesn't come too far over our toes. We should still be able to see our toes here. And then we're going to step forwards again. And then again, making sure everything's nice and aligned, we're going to step back with our other foot, drop that rear knee down, push yourself back up using these big quad muscles and step forward. So again, you're looking at about 12 to 15 repetitions, taking it in turns so you're not taxing these legs too much. So we're going to progress the movement now. We're still going to do a reverse lunge, but we're going to add a little oblique twist into it. With the use of an everyday item like a cushion, we're going to make this exercise a little bit harder. So to start off with, Craig and I are going to go back on the legs that are next to one another. So we're going to take a step back, come in together, past the cushion, back forward, and then step up. Going back on our outside legs this time, we're going to do the same movement, coming to the side, getting the oblique twist, coming back forwards, and then back in together again, keeping that core nice and locked. And you want to do this exercise for about 12 to 15 reps each.
Right guys, so it's a good buddy workout. If you want to do it at home, so very little space needed, we can start to look at some core workouts. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down all fours, so knees direct under the hips, hands under my shoulders, nice and narrow, so not too wide. And we're going to bring up our hands, so bring up my hand and touch, engaging the core, bringing the core in, so your tummy muscles are pulled in towards the spine to get that core engagement. You can bring up my hand and touch in the middle, back down, swap sides, there. And we want to keep that stable, balanced, nice flat back. And again, looking at 12 to 15 repetitions. And what you can do to progress it is if we just take one kneel back, there. We're going slightly further, so now I'm to reach a bit further so that abs and the core is working a little bit harder, keeping that flat position there. And again, you could do 12 to 15 repetitions of those. Make sure the hands are returned directly under the shoulders, so we don't start to walk away there, because as we do, our back will start to drop, so we want to keep it nice and flat. And again, to progress, you can now start to add in the leg movement. So we take one leg back, there, and again, try and keep the back nice and flat, hips square. So we're bringing the legs and extending, your abs having to work harder, and you also get to squeeze your glutes as well, so a really good core workout the whole way through. And again, looking for 12 to 15 repetitions, nice and slow, nice and controlled. and then bring your hands back to finish.
Okay, so this is a nice simple crunch exercise, and to make it a bit easier and more fun, you are going to involve your buddy. So your buddy's going to hold your feet here just to make sure they don't sort of ping off the ground as you start to come up. The trick here is not to try and come up too high. It's a very small movement. So Craig's going to start off with his hands across his chest because that's going to be a little bit simpler for him. He's also going to make sure he's going to keep his eye on the ceiling, which is going to keep his neck nice and straight. And he's going to tense those stomach muscles there. And then very gently, he's just going to come up slightly off the ground. Perfect. And lower himself back down. And coming up again, that's perfect. You can see he's got a nice straight back. He's looking up, so his chin isn't dipping down onto his chest. And he's controlling the whole of his movement with those abdominal muscles. You're going to do between 12 to 15 reps of this. That's good. Now, if Craig wants to make it more difficult, he'll take his hands from across his chest and put them by his ears, keeping his elbows out nice and wide to the side. This is putting more emphasis on his abdominal muscles, thus making the exercise harder for him to do. So we're going to build a slight progression into the crunch, which is going to start involving the oblique muscles. So Craig is going to keep his back nice and straight. He's going to continue to look at the ceiling, which is going to keep his neck straight in a safe position. This time, he's going to bring his hands up and punch across towards my hands when he comes into that raised abdominal crunch. So punching up and across. If you can't reach your buddy's hands, don't worry. You're just going to come up as far as you can and stretch forward as far as you can. Obviously, you can do this as slowly or as quickly as you like. If you wanted to make it a little bit harder, then you can build up the pace, obviously. Again, you're looking about 12 to 15 reps on this.
Right, so we're going to show you another partner workout for working the abs and the core. Start to engage the obliques from a plank position, so it's really good to get the whole posture again. We're starting to add a bit of movement, which is quite a good fun thing to do. So take a book below. So again, that same position we used before. So hands just under shoulders, knees just under hips, nice flat back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the book across to Rachel. As I slide, my core has to fire to hold me, and then I return there. And then Rachel's going to take it across. And back towards me again. And I lift up the other side, so I'm working the other side of my core. Plant my hand down, slide back across. And then we can just pick up the pace as you feel comfortable. There. Never want to be too quick, because we want to make the core work. We're looking 12 to 15 passes, again, that repetition. Now if you want to make it slightly harder, Rachel, if you stay in that position there, and I'll show the progression. So you can come up here. So I'm really having to hold my core now as I move it across. Keep my back nice and flat. And pass there. So I'm in a full plank. And then you can also do it. So again, Rachel, you stay where you are. I'll show the progression again. Go down to here, so nice long flat. There, so slightly more rotation, slightly more hold room in my elbows. I'm returning my elbows directly under my shoulders, keep my abs braced, and then as I move, my obliques are working. One more. And then hold.